All right, here we go. All right, welcome everybody. Sorry we're a little bit late. Ronald Acuna Jr. starts off by slapping the ball to Jacob Marcy in center field, who catches it for the first out, and then Italy gets Italy allows their first base run of the game as Michael Garcia singles, and we are now 6 pitches deep. Aaron Nola starting for Italy. I haven't even talked pregame about this game, but we're going to get into it all right now. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you drop a sub if you want. Oh boy. Italy just doubled them up. And Team Italy's defense comes through huge in the first inning. Jacob Marcy of the Miami Marlins absolutely fired up, as he deserves to be, as he should be. Michael Garcia thinks that's going to be a base hit, dropping for Luis Suarez. He gets all the way basically to second base. Jacob Marcy catches it and throws it back to first, doubles Venezuela up in the first inning. So despite getting the one out single, Michael Garcia gets thrown out to end the inning, and Italy is up to bat for the first time. Got my Team Italy jacket on. Come on now. I mean, I gotta go for Team Italy. I'm a Team USA guy, obviously. That's, I'm from the USA. I'm an Italian American going for Team USA. The question is, right, Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, if those guys were alive, would they play for Team Italy? Obviously, they'd be good enough to play for Team USA, but would they choose to play for Team Italy? Choose to represent? I mean, at that point, right, they were really maybe, 1, 2 generations deep in terms of being in America. So still very, very Italian at that point. Trying to zip up my Italia jacket. It is a little bit old. It was my grandfather's, and so it's a little hard to zip up. Trying to make it happen before Italy gets up to bat, though. And we made it happen. All right. Team Italy does not need the luck, but I mean, we don't barely believe in luck on this channel anyway. Make my hair look good with my Team Italy jacket. I don't really care. I've been wearing hats all day. Who really cares anyway? Actually, hold on. I do have a Team Italy hat. All right, and Team Italy's lineup for this game, pretty much the same. Not Nori in the 9-hole, Orazio catching, Fisher 7, Cags 6, Zach DeZenzo DHing, and then so they fit Andrew Fisher and Zach DeZenzo in the lineup. That's probably the big thing, and no Dominic Canzone, the Seattle Mariners platoon star, who's been very, very good for Italy. It's surprising they didn't start him against Aaron Nola. I can't start Nola. Against Kader Montero. But you understand, like you play the side of the platoon, but Kader Montero, a righty in his own right, you look at the splits for Kader Montero, he's not good against left-handers. Canzone, one of the premier left-handers that there is. Definitely one of the more confusing omissions of a lineup in recent memory, honestly. Why isn't Canzone playing? Is it because they want to be able to pinch hit him late in the game or something? Is it because he's injured? It doesn't seem like it would be because he's not the right matchup to start the game, because definitely in terms of hitting righties, you don't get much better than Dominic Canzone. Had about a 139 WRC plus and a 307 batting average against them last season in the MLB in extended sample size. All right. 2-2 to Sam Antonacci, leadoff hitter for Team Italy, and he's fouling him off. Good. He gets 5 pitches deep at least on his first at bat. for Team Italy, you got to get deep into these ABs. Going to be absolutely one of the keys. And I mean, Team Venezuela is so good and they're so fun. I would not mind them making the final. It would be odd, but as an Italian American, to see Italy and USA be in the final would be pretty awesome. I mean, for USA to win the whole thing would be cool. It would be awesome. I'm really hoping for that. But for Italy to win the whole thing would be undoubtedly like that. It would mean a lot more for Italy, for baseball in Italy, than it would, the U.S. winning would for baseball in the USA. I mean, and Francisco Cervelli. Oh man, so Sam Antonacci does strike out on the eighth pitch of the at bat. A well located sinker, bottom of the zone, inside corner. To Antonacci, the left hander leading off. John Birdie. Now you got righty on righty. John Birdie. How well does John Birdie hit the righties? Yeah, why is Dom Canzone not in the lineup? That's got to be the biggest question. It must be because they want to pinch hit him later, but even then, he was so good in the last game against Puerto Rico. It would be tough, especially for Royals fans, deciding who to root for. Obviously, Markel Garcia on Venezuela, but Bobby Witt on the USA. But you've got both Pascuantino, and obviously Salvador Perez on Venezuela as well. And then you've got Jack Caglione, and you've got Benny Pascuantino and John Birdie swinging strike as well. Cater Montero for the Tigers had he pitched quite a bit last year. 20 games, 12 starts, 16 the year before even. It looks like, he got moved into starting duties, moved from it, whatever you want to say. Oh boy, and he's a little bit wild. Oh, and that's a base hit for John Birdie. Great piece of hitting. Both Italy hitters working the full count. They've just been doing that extremely well. They've been working the count, taking good at-bats, getting really deep into the at-bats, and then letting the results happen. But Team Italy is an analytical darling. Absolutely. Got this going on. I got to embrace it at this point. Jacob Marcy up with one out and a runner on base, and that's a double play, and the first inning's done. All right, so through one inning, no score. Each team gets a single, and then the third hitter on each team gets a double play. So this Venezuelan lineup, right? Definitely deeper on paper. Before the tournament, you would have to be choosing the Venezuelan team over the Italian team. Now, Cater Montero against Aaron Nola, it's like you might choose Aaron Nola, especially with the experience. Cater Montero better at limiting the hard contact. Actually, not by that much, but definitely better than Nola at that. Nola definitely better at striking guys out and not walking guys. So Nola wants to keep guys at the plate. Cater Montero a little happier pitching to contact. And so Italy wants to stay at the plate the whole night. Both there, Aaron Nola wants to stay at the plate, push for the strikeouts. knows he's not going to walk too many guys, and then their hitters want to stay at the plate against Cater Montero, who's trying to get trying to induce the soft contact, and Italy's lineup wants to get deep into the at bats, draw the walks, knows that they're not going to strike out as much. So that's kind of the approach. Then Venezuela, it feels like they're going to live and die by their lineup. If they can win on talent with their lineup over Italy, great. If not, Italy's going to be moving on to the final. Now, they have the clear talent advantage. I mean, when you compare Ronald Acuna Jr. to Sam Antonacci, Michael Garcia to John Birdie, how many spots, if we're going each hole of the lineup, would you take Italy for? Luis Suarez, Jacob Marcy. I think you might take Jacob Marcy over Luis Suarez, although it's not super far apart. Vinny Pasquantino over Gino Suarez. I'd give that one to Italy. Ezequiel Tovar over Zach DeZenzo. I would definitely take that. Gleyber Torres, Jack Caglianone. That one's tough. Especially in this tournament, the way that Cags has been hitting, you'd want to take Cags. He's way more upside, way more exciting for the talent. But Torres, former top prospect himself, and very, very experienced big leaguer, who walks a lot. Gino up to bat. Gino Suarez, former Mariner. All right. We have not had anybody pop in here yet. Have we? Let's go ahead and post this on Twitter. Let's get some people in here. Gino in this tournament batting just 167. It was a homer that he hit, though. That's about Gino Suarez for you. Still got the power. Does not have much in terms of bat to ball. That's not just running into the pitch for a home run. Two and two. Gino down the line. Doing a live reaction for and Gino foul. Do we like the word live reaction or watch along better? That is a question. All right. See if we can get a few people in here. And Gino gets knocked out by Aaron Nola. Yeah, the thing, like Gino hitting cleanup for Venezuela. Like, why don't you put, I don't know, Jackson Churio way up there in the lineup? Just load it up with Acuna, Garcia, Churio, even like Arise, get guys on base. Gino feels like, I mean, he's the veteran. He's the guy who everybody respects. But I mean, Ezekiel Tovar played so well last game. What was he? 3 for 4, 3 runs scored. Wilyer Abreu, obviously. I mean, he is the platoon guy, but and then you got Ezekiel Tovar, and Nola's commanding the strike zone with him. He's like, nope, we're gonna get you doubled up on strikes, get you into the 1-2 count. You don't want to give this guy anything to hit, and he doesn't. Knuckle curve in the dirt. So far with Aaron Nola, he's really mixing up the pitches. 8 four seams, 22 pitches overall. First 22 pitches overall. It's a 22nd pitch. Fouled, but Tovar pulls it really hard. Nola's, 22 pitches overall, 8 four seam fastballs, 6 knuckle curves, 3 each of the sinker, cutter, and then 2 changeups. He wants to mix in these breaking balls a lot. I mean, that's when he's at his best. This is a starter with a full arsenal who does his best when he has his breaking balls, and he plays. I mean, he's always been a guy with, okay velocity, but Aaron Nola's not a guy who's going to blow you away with 99 miles an hour. It's just not his style. I mean, even when he was like at the height of his, even when Aaron Nola was at his best, it was changing curve more than, and he gets a knuckle curve strikeout for the second out of the inning. Yeah, he is a strikeout artist that uses like a changeup curveball. It's like, I mean, if he's like a little bit of a shorter Emerson Hancock for the Mariners fans here. And I mean, when you get, like you really just want guys to be chasing low and chasing away. That's what he's trying to get the Venezuela lineup to do, and so far it's working. And this is, if you were a Team Italy, I think you got to feel really good about what you're seeing so far from how the Venezuelan hitters are responding to the breaking balls, or better yet, not responding as well. Maybe second time through it's different. Maybe third time through. Maybe you don't get the third time through, but I mean, you're going to exhaust whatever you got to exhaust to get through this game. The U.S. might be putting Nolan McLean out there in the final, so you can throw Michael Lorenzen out there again if you need to. I think. He didn't pitch since the USA game, right? It would be crazy if you see the same exact pitching matchup as the Italy USA game from last week. All right, and 3-0, get a strike in there to Torres. But Torres is the guy he's the most scared of, other than maybe like Acuna, Contreras, Churio. Because you don't want to go up against guys with great plate discipline. You want to go up against Eugenio Suarez's. And you get something in the zone. It's foul. Now you get a full count. All right, now where do you go? You've got the full count. You probably don't want to walk Gleyber Torres, but you've already got 2 outs. So you have a little bit to work with of a cushion in the inning as far as having 2 outs. You do have Wilyer Abreu coming up, and then it's Contreras, Churio. That is just one brutal bottom of the order, especially for a righty. So, I mean, all three of those guys, good plate discipline and just incredible, incredible hitters. Contreras and Churio especially, but Abreu on this side of the platoon being a lefty against the righties. And the full count to Gleyber Torres, and that's a base hit. Good job by Gleyber Torres working that at bat to get Venezuela a base runner in the second inning. What is this, by the way, that I keep seeing the Venezuelans do? This whole thing where they, I don't really know what it means. Oh, is it the drum? I just kind of think I figured it out by talking myself through it. Maybe, yeah, it must be the drum because they have all the drums in the stands. Ask me in the chat, what do you think? Or actually, I'm going to ask you in the chat, who's going to homer in this game? Any homers? Predict the number of homers. Tell me who's going to homer. And Abreu pops out. First pitch. So Aaron Nola feeling pretty good. Yeah, he's got his head down. He's locked in. He knows that he's got a really tough part next to the lineup to face. It's going to be Contreras, Churio, Acuna. So you're running into, I mean, what, 3 of the top 20 hitters in the National League right there? Expected batting averages high so far in this game, just through an inning and a half. 290 for Venezuela, 331 for Italy. Definitely aided by some just really obvious singles. That Gleyber Torres single just now, 970 XBA because it was right in the gap, right over the guy's head, somewhere where, I mean, it's almost guaranteed to be a single unless the defense is perfectly playing it. John Birdie's single in the first inning was a 930 expected batting average as well. And other than that, Michael Garcia's single was only a 330 expected batting average only. And then Acuna, a 540 XBA on his line out from the first inning, which Jacob Marcy had. He tracked it well. And unless you really, again, we're playing that super far in, you're going to be able to make that play. Okay, Jack, we got our first shot of the night. I got Andrew Fisher and Vinny. I like it. 2 Italians. Do you think it's going to be 2 home runs in the game, Jack? Is that all we got as far as homers in the game? Actually, matter of fact, Jack, I could give you a call. You want to come on stream? You want to come on stream? I could give you a call real quick. We could get the voice of the legend himself, JBA. Make your return to the channel after, I guess it's been like, what, 5 years? 6 years? It's been like 6 years since we were on the channel together, but it would, I mean, we talk sports all the time. It wouldn't really feel any different. Anyway, Jack, if you want to get on here and, talk ball and, we can chop it up about this game. You want to do this thing with me? Hit my phone. You know the deal. Hey, got therapy in 10 minutes. Hey, that's important. Hey, shout out to everybody doing therapy. Honestly, I might need to get on that myself, bro. There's so much stuff going on in the world, right? 8. No, I have not done therapy. I've never. I guess I tried it like once in like 8th grade or something. It was like actually something I think I had to do for school or something. But anyway, Kader Montero off the plate. Going to keep everything outside to Vinny Pasquantino after you see the bat heat up in this game or in this tournament. 3 homers against the USA and stuff. He's so, like, his plate approach is there 10 hitters with a better plate approach than Vinny Pasquantino in the majors? I would not be surprised to see Vinny P have like a top 15 MVP finish, get some votes. Oh boy. And that dribbler, that's probably, and oh no, it is an out. On the TV broadcast, it looked like it was safe, to be honest. But Vinny P does get out. Almost had an infield hit, just put it right in the perfect place. But Michael Garcia charges in, gets that one. I might need to fix the. I know I'm on normal latency right now. I might need to bump the latency down just because um I want to be able to interact with you guys in real time. And Zach DeZenzo, first pitch, puts it right back up the middle to center field. There's a lot of offense going on in Lone Depot Park right now. A whole lot of offense. Jack Kaggs is up. I mean, this guy Jack Kaggs is rising in fantasy baseball drafts. If you're on ESPN fantasy baseball drafts, draft Jack Kaggs. You're gonna have to search him up. He's not there in the rankings in a place that you're gonna see him, but he's like ESPN's rankings just haven't caught up. He is definitely worth a 150 to 200 pick, like anywhere in that range, anywhere after really 150. Especially the more casual your league is in, the longer you can wait. I think it's like free money on Jack Kaggs. And I mean, there is a chance it doesn't work out, but the way he looks in this tournament, he's going to be crushing the ball, especially in the roto leagues you play in. If you're not playing head to head, roto leagues, you got to draft Jack Kaggs. And I'm glad nobody is here right now to hear that, because if they were, I would miss out on him in my draft this weekend. I've got a couple more fantasy baseball drafts coming up. If you guys want to do a listener league or like a subscriber league, let me know. We can get that going. Might even have to have a prize for the winner. If you can beat Dom Skeen in fantasy baseball, what do you get? And Jack Kaggs walks. 4-pitch walk. He was scared of Jack Kaggs, it looks like. I mean, Jack Kaggs being a lefty. Kader, it seems like Kader is much better against the righties than the lefties. And again, it's very confusing why Dom Canzone's not in this lineup. Everybody wants to come watch the USA and DR. Not as many people want to come watch Team Italy and Venezuela, but hey, these teams are just as good right now. They're both incredibly hot. And I mean, let me know if anybody knows why Dom Canzone's not in this lineup, even though he's the lefty masher, or the righty masher hitting from the left side, going up against a righty like Kader Montero. It seems like it would be the perfect matchup for Dom Canzone. He played so well against Puerto Rico. Maybe looked like the most advanced hitter on the Italian team. And somehow he's not in the lineup because they put Zach DeZenzo at DH. That's a puzzling one. Maybe he's injured. Maybe he tweaked something. I don't know. And the winner has to play tomorrow. I mean, gets to play in the final tomorrow, but they're going to be playing. They're not getting a rest. That's what I'm trying to say. And all right. Italy just knows how to get traffic on the base paths. And now Kader Montero is getting wild against him. Looking at myself in the camera, I'm like, what am I even doing a second ago? And now the bases are loaded. Kader Montero needs to get out of his own head. So do I sometimes. But Cater Montero's got to get out of his own head. He's throwing a lot of balls right now. He started off the game not looking too bad. Are they bringing... They're not going to bring somebody in right away. They're going to do a mound visit right now, though. They're talking to him. They're saying, hey, this is the game plan. We know what we're doing. I mean, you cannot make mistakes. Like Andrew Fisher, nothing over the plate. Jack Kaggs, 4-pitch walk. Zach DeZenzo, the first pitch swinging. I mean, Zach DeZenzo really scared him off the plate. First pitch, slider, hack, just sneaks it right into center field. 950 expected batting average. A guy's going to get a hit off of you sometimes. It doesn't mean you can abandon your entire approach. But this is now 9 straight pitches without really kind of being scared of the zone. Let's see. Now, you got to get some command back, Montero, if you want to have a chance. Going up against J.J. DeRazio and way inside. See, you don't want to start the at-bat off like this. All right, want to know every pitch. This is where you say, want to know every pitch, Montero. Want to know right here. Got to put something in the zone. You can't get way too behind in the count. It's only 1 out. Oh, boy. Hey, good catch by the bat boy down the left field line. DeRazio nearly pulled that thing, though. He did pull it, just didn't quite get down the line fair. But now that's 2 sinkers inside to DeRazio. And does DeRazio scare him off the plate here again? Does he throw a ball? Or can you get something over the plate? Can you sneak something over the plate? Nope. A cutter way, way inside. And now you're ahead in the count if you're DeRazio going up against a major league pitcher. Italy got the bases loaded with 1 out. You've got to get something over the plate, Montero, and you do. That was a good slider. Starts out right up there in the middle of the plate and then tails off towards the edge and catches the plate. And those Venezuelan fans are all behind him. He has not had a good strike in a long time, yeah. Or not a good strike to ball ratio is what they said on the broadcast, but he has not had a good strike. It was a good double-digit pitches without a good strike. Now 2-2. Again, you got to get something over the plate. Oh my goodness, he looks like that was a close call, but honestly, got to tip my cap to DeRazio for not fully swinging on that. Great pullback by DeRazio. DeRazio rocks the first run of the game in. Team Italy scores the first run by walking a run in. Hey, Mariners hat in the background. DeRazio, 2 great pullbacks, 2 great check swings, 2 great decisive, deliberate swing decisions. Really, the decision not to swing right there is what is making DeRazio roll. And now Dante Nori comes up. It looks like Venezuela's going to make a pitching change already, which honestly, you got to stay in this tournament. You can't mess around at this point. And Montero really is just having a rough inning. Ricardo Sanchez coming in. What can we learn about Ricardo Sanchez? He pitched for the Cardinals in 2020. He's only 28 years old right now. So he's been in the majors, but not for several years. Where is he pitching now is the question. Oh boy, he actually pitched a game. He appeared in 1 game for the Seattle Mariners in 2019. So shout out to him for that. Go Mariners. But I guess not. I guess It says his debut was in 2020. Okay, no, in 2019 he pitched with the Mariners in Arkansas. Pitched just one inning. Or no, okay, no, sorry, I'm reading this completely wrong. He one inning in the Texas League All-Star game, but he was a Texas League All-Star for the Arkansas Travelers with the Mariners organization. Then in 2020, he made his MLB debut with the Cardinals. Okay, he was with the Charlotte Knights in an MLB organization as recently as 2023, and then he was playing in for some of these teams that look like they're probably Venezuelan, so, definitely in some Hispanic country in 2025 and 6. And his first pitch is the ball. Now the balls are just piling up in Venezuela. I mean, if they get behind, they did already come back against Japan. However, that was due to a big 3-run homer, which you can't rely on necessarily. Again, double play, and not going to get a double play, so another run's going to score. And that's where having one out in that situation really plugged Italy. I mean, the Mafia is moving on this one. And I'm Italian, so I think I can say that. Italy is, I don't know if you guys listen to Rod Wave, but you know that Rod Wave song, Moving Like the Mafia, but I'm no Michael Corleone. That is Team Italy right now. And look at Dante Nori just hustling down the line. Like, Italy is doing the little things right. I know it's pretty obvious when a team is hustling, and all these guys at this point of this tournament obviously care a ton, but Italy is just, they're moving as a unit, which is what the Mafia is known for. They're always optimizing for the good of the organization. And I mean, the Mafia is not something that I want to joke too much about. Obviously, I'm not, but we don't have to be too hypersensitive. Like, we can say that Italy is moving with some mob rule right now, and it's working because look how far they're getting in this tournament. I mean, at this rate, if they had like one of those big players back in the day, like say there was a World Baseball Classic in 1938 or whatever. Let's just pretend there wasn't a World War and stuff. Say there's a World Baseball Classic in 1938. If they had a Babe Ruth and a Joe DiMaggio, they'd be destroying in this tournament. I mean, and Francisco Cervelli deserves MLB managerial looks. The way that he's got these guys absolutely dialed for this. Okay, well, that's going to be a meme, what it looks like Dante Nora was doing just now. And Dante Nora, I was just talking about him hustling to first base, but goes and steals second. Just further getting in the pitcher's heads. The mind games from Team Italy right now. Ricardo Sanchez, I mean, they just keep working full counts. Almost every at-bat for Italy, yeah, sure, they've had a couple base hits, had a couple walks. Almost every at-bat goes to a full count. That is just... Italy is playing chaos ball. Italy is embracing the chaos ball in this tournament. This is exactly how you do it. And the Venezuelan dugout, something about them, it's like they feel like they need to lock in harder now, to beat a team that's pushing them to a full count with every single at-bat. And then Antonacci coming up for the second time, fouling it right off the corner. Everything close is getting fouled off. Everything that's not a strike, they're taking. Italy's plate discipline as a team this tournament. I would like to see team StatCast data for this tournament, because Italy's plate discipline, I'm willing to bet, would be elite. Oh boy. And finally, Venezuela's inning of an inning that just dragged for Venezuela. It wasn't an inning from hell. It wasn't an inning of terror. It wasn't some inning that they couldn't get out of because they did get out of it. But it was annoying. Italy was being absolute pests right there, and that's Italy is. It feels like they have a whole lot of Ben Williamsons on their team, and I say that as in the highest compliment. If you know this channel, I love players like Ben Williamson, Jose Caballero, Jake Fraley, absolutely. Which the Tampa Bay Rays are going to be fun to watch in that division where everybody else is invested a ton into winning this year and competing. Tampa Bay Rays are going to be fouling off balls like crazy, fouling off close pitches, and keeping at bats alive. And we look at the data from this game already. Venezuela. Let's see. Venezuela no walks. Italy 3. And that's just in the second inning. Can Italy go and double Venezuela's walk total? Can they have 5 more walks than them? Can they have 10 more walks than them? Obviously at this rate, we got to give Venezuela more than 2 innings to even that out. But Venezuela needs some walks right now. I would like to see William Contreras and Jackson Chourio not get a base hit, but a walk. Foul everything off until you get 4 balls. That's kind of the state that you're in, especially because Aaron Nola, you got to get that pitch count up. You need some pestmanship in this Venezuelan lineup. And unfortunately, everybody is so good with their major league club that they usually don't have to be too much of a pest. They can either, take the walks if they're being pitched around, or hit the bombs if they get the pitch to hit and they see it. Contreras and Chourio, though, I know that these two have great plate discipline. This is where you need to be an 8 and you need to be a 9 hitter and not try to be. Not everybody can be Ronald Acuna. And even guys like Michael Garcia, Luis Suarez, he has notoriously short at bats because he gets a pitch, anything anywhere near the zone, and he puts it in play. All right, Chourio, long at bat, you need it. Yep. And it starts off with a ball. Now it's 1-0. This is where you need to do 1-0 every pitch better than Italy just did. Because Italy just forced you guys to have a long inning. Now it's a 1-pitch inning. And now it's a 2-pitch inning. And Nola starts off with 2 forcing fastballs outside. He's basically saying, okay, I'm going to walk you, Contreras. Contreras 0 for 11 in the WBC. Again, but it doesn't matter. You don't need to. A walk is just as good as a hit. And, okay, Nola gets a call. That was really close. Sinker barely slips into the zone. But yeah, you don't need to swing the bat almost, Contreras. Just be a decoy. And once it gets to 2 strikes, maybe you foul some stuff off. Good take. That's high up in the zone, right? Contreras could usually turn on that thing for a homer, the way that he did in the playoffs against the Cubs, where he hit that big 3-run homer in the first inning against Shota Imanaga. That is, but he takes the pitch, and now it's 3-1. And that's going to be a ball. And it's, okay, great at bat by William Contreras. That's how you get back in this game if you're Venezuela. A leadoff walk. 5-pitch walk. Now you're putting now Italy, you see, now they're like, okay, let's go to our game plans for these guys. You're going to get Chourio, Acuna, and Garcia. 3 easily top 50 to 100, 50 to 75 hitters in the game. Probably top 50 to 60 hitters in the game. In Acuna's case, obviously top 5 when healthy, top 10, even if you're low on him. Chourio, top 20 to 30, and he's one of the youngest players in the majors still. And then Garcia, he's got to be top 50 at this point, right? And so Chourio does foul off a pitch in the zone, trying to get his timing right, but now he's 0-2. So Nola's like, okay, I would just walk Contreras. I'm going to pound the zone versus you. I'm going to show you that you're not getting a walk. You're not going to get your base runners. Because if you guys get your base runners, then Wilyer Abreu can be the one to come up and hit out of the ballpark. Now, the 0-2, another just straight up middle of the zone, and that's good for Team Italy because Churio pops it out, where he's really trying to take this measured, want to know every pitch approach, and he has to make contact. My voice is definitely better than it was a couple days ago. Now you get Ronald Acuna. He can tie the game with one swing of the bat. Hopefully he doesn't have to. And even, see, now Ronald Acuna is going 1-0 every pitch. If you think that, this hitter's too good, too much power to be the one going 1-0 every pitch, look what Acuna's doing right here. 1-0. If he gets something in the middle, though, he might way to lay off that knuckle curve. You've seen that thing in the dirt plenty. And now it's 2-0. So, if Acuna just gets on base, Michael Garcia can be the one to hit. He's already 1 for 1. Can go 2 for 2. Another base hit. Acuna 2-0. 3-0. I mean, you're pitching around Acuna. This is where the top of the order is coming into play and making Venezuela a way harder opponent to beat. That well-rounded lineup, your 8 hitter getting on base to lead off. Acuna 3-0 with 1 out with a runner on base. And so then obviously it's a sinker right up in the middle of the zone, which Acuna, if he wasn't trying to go 1-0 every pitch and really being measured, maybe he does hack that thing out. But you got to live with it. 1-0. Now 3-1. Do you get the pitch to hit here? And you middle, and you foul it off, which I'm okay with, because now full count. He's not going to throw something. When Acuna is protecting the plate, there's no way he's going to throw something too close to it, right? Just live to see another day, Nola. You're already on 44 pitches. Acuna hits this thing out. All of a sudden, it's a complete eye for an eye ball game. Oh, my goodness. He does throw something in the zone. And this is where I'll happily admit that I was wrong. Acuna really wanted that walk. He kind of was going with the approach I was talking about. Trying to copy Team Italy. And, I mean, 2 innings ago, when this game started, I'm talking about Venezuela needs to win with the talent, be their usual aggressive selves. And now they're just trying to play, good baseball, and it's almost getting in the way of the talent of Ronald Acuna Jr. And now Garcia, I mean, you really got to get ahead in the count, and at least you get the knuckle curve in the dirt to start out. I'm going to stop saying knuckle curve and just say curve, because you know what I mean. That was a good sinker on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garcia is definitely thinking like, okay, I want to obviously keep this inning alive. It's the first primary goal, but how do I want to move to do that? Pickoff attempt. Haven't seen a lot of pickoff attempts in this WBC. Michael Garcia is an underrated player at this point. But Nola. And, yep, Italy gets out of it. The leadoff walk turns into nothing. Venezuela gets cute with it. I mean, which is what I was saying that I thought that they should do. I mean, your strategy's not always going to be correct. Sometimes you got to stick to your guns. Sometimes you got to adapt on the fly. And that's the chess match that's going on behind the scenes of all this right now. But Nola's got to feel really good about where he's at. About 45 pitches in. Nola, 48 pitches in. Yeah, only two swinging strikes, but he's been commanding the strike zone. He's kept these guys off balance enough. He got them off their rhythm, and now top of the lineup comes up second time through with all the chance in the world to do something. To score a run, uh, tie the game up even, and Nola just he completely fools them. He completely goes reverse psychology, makes the mind game hard of guessing, am I putting it in the zone? Am I not? And these breakers, because he's leading with a lot of these breakers, 17 fastballs to 16 curveballs. It's like they really don't know if it's a curveball or a fastball. And the way that it comes out of his hand, this is why Nola was so good for so many years, is because he's just a hard guy to see. Like it just doesn't come out of his hand in a way that, and when it does, like it's late that you recognize Nola's pitch for what it is. And it makes you think that you can guess and try to know what it is, and then you completely end up with the wrong guess. And he's just having a vintage Aaron Nola start right now. The changeup he's basically phased out. When he was super nasty back in, what was it, 2020, the changeup and the curveball were both 27% usage pitches for him. Then the four seam like 24%, sinker 22%. Moving on to like 2021 is when he added the cutter, and it did not work. And that was part of when the downfall of Aaron Nola began. He started tinkering too much, using the four seam more, and it didn't work. And he kind of had to get. And then 2022 he was awesome again, and at that point he's using the four seam a third of the time, and the curve as his secondary, and the changeup moves it down to 15%. He basically had to kill the changeup because it wasn't working after it was awesome for him in 2020. And then, Aaron Nola is kind of like an even year dynasty. Yeah, 2024, he was great again. Oh, and now John Birdie lines out pretty quickly. So Italy is now like, okay, let's slap the ball around, put it in play a whole bunch. Because they have the lead by 2 runs, they're like, okay, let's see if we can extend it. Like if we can get up to a 4-0 lead, then we put real deal pressure on these guys. Which Japan got that big lead, but then Venezuela just whittled away at it. I love how actively Cervelli is managing. He's not just watching the game as a passive bystander. And Jacob Marcy, no way. Yeah, he's not going to beat the pitcher to that bag. That was just, it's good for him for putting the ball in play when he's got all that speed, giving himself an opportunity to use it, but you can't beat the pitcher to the bag in every situation like this. He makes it close. Okay, yeah, it was a split second. It was clear that it wasn't safe. And Sanchez actually had to barehand it. So that ended up being a fire drill for Team Venezuela's defense, but they made it happen. Venezuela's defense has been quite good. I haven't seen any blunders from them. I've seen them handle some of these fire drills with class, but also with that swag. A whole lot of confidence to, barehand balls like that. Sanchez starts Pasquantino off middle because he's not expecting it. He's the long at bat king. I actually like that. And then he goes low. It's like, okay, so he's trying to just mix it all the way up. Middle, way outside and low, or way out, and then way up high. Just trying to keep Pasquantino guessing. It's almost like he knows that if he throws something too close to where Pasquantino likes it, his stuff might not carry him. which is true against Pasquantino. I mean, this dude hit 3 homers off of Team USA. Pasta consumption. Venezuela is third in pasta consumption. All right. Thanks for the stat, broadcast. Pasquantino, ball 4. He basically didn't have to swing at anything except for that one second strike. Might as well get your timing right. Put it foul. And now a 2-out walk. If Italy does stuff with like a 2-out walk, right, that's where you start to feel like a team of destiny. Like, oh, we thought we were close to getting out of this inning, but now Italy's got a 2-out walk on us. That's the stuff that you don't want to run into when you're... And, okay, Sanchez gets a call, top of the zone, against Zach DeZenzo. Again, Zach DeZenzo being in here instead of Dom Canzone in that DH role, despite Dom Canzone looking awesome. Oh, boy. And that's basically near Zach DeZenzo's head. I mean, if like DeZenzo seems like the guy to go after. He does not seem like the intimidating force in this lineup. I mean, I'm curious. Oh boy. And a dribbler on the first base line. Going to be an easy out. Yeah, it looks like Ricardo Sanchez, pitcher for Venezuela, he knows as the lefty, he's like, oh boy, I might need to go another inning. He might need to go another inning. All right. So the data in this game is not. Let's see. So, Venezuela got their first walk. Italy got another, though, so it's still 4-1 on walks to Italy. And then strikeouts, Italy struck out 3 guys. Venezuela struck out just 1. And that's through 3 innings. Italy, they just win that walk and that strikeout battle on both sides of the ball. And they play chaos ball. Their defense is good enough. Their offense is, just, we're going to take things really slowly, want to know every pitch, and let you speed yourself up. Venezuela is trying to slow down now, but they're already such a fast team. It's almost messing with their timing and the way that they do things. I mean, in Italy's 2 runs up with 6 innings to go to get to the World Baseball Classic final. Is that something that anybody saw coming into this? I didn't see them make it into the final, but I did have them as my dark horse team, just in terms of their sneaky good is the word I used for basically all their major leaguers. Jacob Marcy, Vinny Pasquantino, guys who are just, people kind of know that they're pretty good, but they don't know, they don't think that they're like elite guys who can carry a WBC team to the final, but that's what they're doing. And Italy just looks ready. They just look ready for all these tests. I mean, after tonight, they would be the only team who hasn't lost. Actually, yeah, the only 2 teams. Actually, no, Italy already, because Venezuela lost to the DR. Italy is the only team. Is that right? Yeah, Italy's the only team who hasn't lost in the World Baseball Classic so far. After the DR lost to the U.S. last night, Italy's the only team in the World Baseball Classic that has not lost. And it's not because they're more talented than all the teams they faced. That's for sure. And now, throw a strike, throw a ball. Like, you're really mix it up. And from Nola's perspective, it's like, Okay, I'm at 50 pitches. I'm in the fourth inning. I'm cool. Can you get these guys to keep swinging it? Yeah, you're going to get him to keep swinging at junk. Luis Suarez, 3-pitch at bat, and now Nola's on 51 pitches with an out already in the fourth inning. Can he get a quality start? The odds are going to be stacked against him. Nobody's had a quality start this far in the WBC, but he's on 51 pitches, and he's a little over halfway now. He's just going to need Venezuela to start pressing. And also, as soon as they score 2 runs, Italy's going to be going somewhere else. And now you got Eugenio Suarez. Gino fouls one off, obviously, first pitch. I mean, a homer doesn't even do you good. So Gino right now. Oh, I've jinxed him. I jinxed him because Gino did hit a bomb. Shout out to Gino. This guy praises the Lord so much. He's one of the best human beings in baseball. It sure seems like, at least. I'm incredibly happy for Gino Suarez right here. He always pointed to the sky and stuff. I definitely appreciate that. And I mean, it's now a 1-run ball game. At least he puts a dent in Aaron Nola's strategy. Maybe Venezuela is going to go out and just hit homers to beat Italy. I mean, at this rate, we're at the same score that we had last night in USA DR. And at this point of the game, I think all those runs, were in the first 3 innings, and there was no score the rest of the game. But hey, maybe that ignites things for this Venezuelan offense, that they just love the momentum. And that pitch was a little bit outside from Nola too. He was trying to be crafty still, throwing something away. I mean, throwing some first pitch strikes. You like to see that. And then he's giving him back with a second pitch, usually in the dirt. And then the third pitch in the zone. Is that all 3 batters here? No, so Suarez, second pitch, bomb. And, I mean, a quick couple outs with a home run in between. Does that get Nola close to being knocked out of the game? I doubt it. I think you want Nola to get through as much of this game as he can before the 80-pitch mark, especially since he can't pitch in the final. It's tomorrow. And, I mean, you don't want to exhaust your bullpen for the final tomorrow. Well, obviously, you got to get there first, but Gleyber Torres, that's going to be a base hit. Antonacci can't make the play. That thing is hit hard into the outfield. And Gino Suarez being the vocal and emotional leader. I underrate Gino Suarez because I look so much at his analytics. I say you don't need a homer right now, but look what a homer can do for you on the momentum side. Maybe I do need to give a little more credit where it's due to the Gino Suarez types from a baseball standpoint. I know I get away from them and I get towards the pesky Ben Williamson types a lot, but guys who can just hit a bomb, have swag, ignite the belief on a team filled with talent like that. And Italy closes out the inning, but not without the lead getting cut in half. Gino Suarez. I mean, he got so much swag. There's just no doubting that. All right, one sec. I am going to. Whoa. You guys see that right there? New episode of the 1-0 podcast, by the way, coming on Thursday. Got a very special guest, one of the biggest Mariners YouTubers out there. Actually, the one who has the most subscribers on YouTube. If that gives you a hint. Somebody who I've talked about on this channel, who I have disagreed with plenty of times in this channel, but have also been excited to talk to a whole lot. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And obviously, the WBC will have concluded. It'll be 1 week from opening day. All right, while these commercials are going on, I'm going to run to the restroom. I will be right back. Talking to you guys like you're the teacher. All right. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Caglione leads off for Italy in the bottom of the fourth. And he grounds out on the third pitch. New pitcher for Venezuela. You got Avila in here. Check out, what do we know about Avila? Luinder Avila. Pitched for the Royals in 2025. So yet another Kansas City Royal in this game. Royals have a lot of players in the WBC, specifically on the last 3 teams in the WBC. Between these 2 teams tonight. And then Michael Lorenzen was a Royal at one point. Lorenzen warming up for Italy is actually crazy. I mean, just reaching the final, right? You got to reach it before you worry about winning the final. Oh boy, broken bat hit into the outfield for Andrew Fisher. This guy, Andrew Fisher, man. Not only did he play in the SEC, he looks like he's going to play in the MLB at some point in the near future. Because he looks good in the later stages of this tournament. Every time we stream one of these, it gets harder and harder to pronounce different things as we go along. That might have been the first instance. Yeah, announcers, I like this guy a lot. Absolutely. You don't say. So John Birdie playing over Thomas Jacey. So we had a whole lot of full counts in the first 2 innings. Feels like the last. It feels like this fourth inning is full of 1-1 counts. It's like 1-0 every pitch from the batter and the pitcher. Luinder Avila from the Royals. I mean, he only pitched in 13 games, 14 innings, but his stats from 2025, go look at them. They are absolutely nasty. And he looks like he's got massive stuff. Oh my gosh. But Italy just keeps putting it in the right spots. And I mean, hey, that spot will avoid a double play. JJ DeRazio, double-A catcher. Putting it in just the right spot to avoid double play. Ezekiel Tovar, does he stay with the Rockies or does he get traded this season? That's a question I have. If he's performing really well, oh boy, and that's the third out. Yeah, this pitcher, Luinder Avila for the Royals, he might be a high leverage option. He's only 24 years old. He was the Royals' number 9. He's the Royals' number 9 prospect right now on Pipeline. Let's see what MLB Pipeline says about Luinder Avila. Because he looks really good on the eye test. His baseball savant looks like elite. He's also 6'3", so off the bus, he's an imposing presence on the mound. Royals top prospects. The Royals signed him at 16 years old out of Venezuela in 2018. Ever since, been steady progress for him. Made one AAA start in 2024. Had some injury issues. Yada yada yada. And they protected him from the Rule 5 draft. Oh, this is from last year, isn't it? Let's see right now. Is he on here? Last year, he was 19th. This year, he's up to 9th. Man, there's some underrated players on this Royals prospect rankings list. And Luinder Avila seems to be right there. Avila will likely serve as rotation depth to begin 2026. But the Royals now know what he could do in the bullpen. 2 fastballs, both sitting around 94, 95. And so Italy is exhausting their pitching. Going to Michael Lorenzen right now. Before things get bad, they're throwing all their pitchers out there. Who are they going to start tomorrow? I have no clue. I guess they'll worry about that then. Aaron Nola's night is done after 4 innings, which I don't blame him. I mean, if you get through this, you're more than halfway through the game. And then the outs start counting down instead of up. And, I mean, you're about to flip the lineup, yeah. You might as well have done it now before Contreras and Churio get another chance to see him. But then Contreras looks like he is dead set on just getting on base as many times as he can tonight. He knows his bat is cold. He just wants his country to advance to the final. He knows this is what makes him, the best offensive contributor right now. Such a weird kind of stance and way of doing things. Fakes bunt, shows bunt, 3-0. Is Lorenzen going to 4-pitch walk Contreras? You got to throw him a strike on 3-0, right? Nope. Way up and out of there. Yeah, you're going to... So Italy is respecting Contreras Another leadoff walk for him. Do, does Venezuela tie the game up this inning? I mean, Jackson Chourio would not be surprised if he had a big moment in this tournament. After 4 2/3 innings against USA, 4-pitch walk for Lorenzen. Yep. Okay, so Chourio bunts Contreras over. This is good baseball. This is like super unselfish. Chourio is like, look, I don't know if I'm going to walk right now. I'm just going to bunt him over. I mean, gets a called strike on pitch 1. I might have let it keep going to see if you could get yourself a walk. Plus, that pitch that was a called strike on the first pitch was actually a ball. Not like the most egregious call. No, Geraldo Perdomo call from last night, but Acuna obviously started off with a ball. You're probably going to walk Ronald Acuna. Probably not going to throw him anything to hit. Nearly did right there. Good curveball that's low. Just a little bit. Would have caught the zone even if he didn't swing at it, looks like. But Acuna was hacking in the middle of the zone. Anytime that happens, I mean, you could lose the lead and the tie right here. Couldn't use the go-ahead run. I mean, just a base hit now from Acuna or Michael Garcia is going to tie the game up. Italy doesn't want Venezuela to be able to say game on. They took the lead early with some, walking the bases. Bases get loaded. They walk a run home. They get another one on a bases loaded ground out. It's like they're like, good. If we can win the game that way, we'll take it. Venezuela's like, nah, we want to go and make a magical moment for our country. Miggy is angry. Or he's intense at least. He's not like angry. He's just intense. He's locked in. Acuna, full count. He is being conservative. Shout out to Acuna for being conservative here. I mean, he is the one spot where it's like, last at bat could have been a little more aggressive almost. Even though I was saying, I think, I applaud the conservatism in his approach. Full count to Acuna. And he pops out, and he's going to be pissed out about that. That was ball 4. And now there's 2 outs. Now Michael Garcia has to get a base hit to tie it up for Team Italy. It's tough. It's tough to know what the right approach is. And Italy is just keeping them guessing just enough. You can tell that Venezuela they're close to cracking through in this game. But Italy is just keeping them guessing just enough. Michael Garcia grounds out on the first pitch, and Lorenzen through 12 pitches will come back out in the 6th inning, almost assuredly, face the middle of the order. And, is Italy going to add on offensively? That would certainly make them feel a little bit different about their pitching approach. But having just the 1-run lead, they're like, nope, before we lose this lead, we're going to our starter for tomorrow's game. And so who is Italy going to start? Who would Italy start tomorrow? Who also would Venezuela start tomorrow? Is the U.S. officially starting Nolan McLean? All relevant questions. I'm going to look up some of this stuff right now. First off, so Italy. Who does Italy start tomorrow? Sam Aldegheri, that's an option. He has started for them in this tournament. They've just burned Nola and Lorenzen, so neither of them, most likely. Unless Lorenzen, who has been a reliever in the past, he's coming in relief tonight. If he doesn't pitch too much, no. Probably not going to start the game tomorrow, unless he opens. Which, does Italy just go with an opener and use every last pitcher they have tomorrow? Jeez. Yeah, I actually don't know. It looks like Sam Aldegheri has to be the starter for Team Italy on in the final, should they make it at this point. And then for Venezuela, looks like it would be, I don't know. Are we going to see Eduardo Bizzardo too? That'd be cool. Antonio Senzatella could pitch the final for Venezuela. Not the most ideal option, as he's kind of fallen out of favor in the Rockies rotation. Ranger Suarez would be on short rest. Eduardo Rodriguez, maybe. This guy Avila, though, I'm really liking this guy Avila. He has such a good athletic frame as well. And you can see this obviously from the camera angle right here. The long legs and the short torso. Super athletic. That curveball, disgusting. Antonacci's now swinging wildly at stuff that's out of the zone. My goodness. Right back up the middle, four-seam fastball up middle of the strike zone, but it's still a ground out. How much movement does he have? Let's see. All right, so Avila's got 11 inches of induced vertical break, 12 of horizontal break on his sinker, and then 14 and 1 on his fastball, his four-seamer. And so he's got a good amount of break. Not like I don't know if it's nothing like way beyond average or anything. But I mean, honestly, it looks like he usually does a little more than that. Usually he averages 17 inches of induced vertical break on his four-seam fastball. Oh my goodness. Hits the ump in the mask. William Contreras immediately like, oh my gosh. That hurts, huh? And so Luinder Avila just getting a little bit wild with it. He's still commanding the strike zone. And I mean, when you're on an 0-2 count, you throw it way up like that. It makes sense. But it's annoying when it, hits the umpire like that. The umpire has to trust the catcher. This is weird how the umpire's now talking to the pitcher and stuff. Or did the pitcher come to talk to the umpire? This is all weird. Like, what is going on? This is the first game that Team Italy has access to iPads in the dugout provided by MLB, but you really wouldn't know it. Yeah. They've been scouting excellently. Not a single hitter has checked in on an iPad tonight. Team Italy looks like they've been scouting really, really well. If it's old school scouting without uh, having like watching the at bats in the dugout right after, then that says something. Most guys, as soon as they have taken an at bat, are on the iPad. They're comparing Team Italy's strategy to high school baseball or old school baseball. Interesting. I mean, clearly it's working. They've got guys who played in the MLB for a while, who know what they're doing, who are managing the team. Jacob Marcy, wild pitch, hits his foot, and now he gets on with 2 outs. These little base runners for Italy, keeping things going. If you can end the inning at the plate on this next batter, it's just 1 pitch gone. Avila is now at 18 pitches, having a weird inning. Hits the umpire, hits a batter. Vinny P is up. Oh, that almost looked fair. Just barely foul. Going the opposite way down the left field line. If that was in play, if that was a fair ball. I guess the camera deceived me. It wasn't that close. With how softly he hit it down the line, though, like how long it was taking to move down the line, that would have been going for a long time before they got to it. You probably would still just be at second and third, best case scenario, but oh boy. Avila, great pitch to his Kansas City Royals teammate, Vinny P, Team Italy's captain. Man, the Royals are showing up in this game. Michael Garcia with the base hit. Vinny P. Luinder Avila. I don't know. I'm Jack Kaggs. 4-pitch walk. Former Royal Mike Lorenzen. I'm eating a banana. I need the potassium to pick me up. These WBC games really take it out of you. Is that? Oh. Echo effect. Yeah, we don't like that. I never even took my guys to homer in this game. I'll take Jack Cags, and I'll take Acuna's the obvious answer. But is Maikel Garcia really going to be the one to hit a bomb? I don't know if that's his strategy. All right, well, we're over halfway through this game. 4 innings left. Unless we go to extras. We haven't... Have we had a single game go to extras in the World Baseball Classic? Yeah, I guess there was one of those games in Asia, I think, that did. But not too many. And Luis Suarez. Lorenzen starts him off, cutter up and away. The 1-1 counts. Nobody wants to lay this strategy out there and say, this is what we're doing. At least not in the last couple innings. It's, oh no, you decide how to play this game. We'll just respond. And honestly, you can see why. And Arise, solid contact straight to Jacob Marcy. Lorenzen just really trying to get this batted ball luck, which he had so much against the USA. He's had so much in this tournament overall. What is his ERA in this tournament? He has not allowed a run. So Lorenzen is, I mean, if he had started the final tomorrow, he would have it. I mean, he could still come in relief. Then you would have a case for like player of the tournament being Lorenzen. I mean, Vinny P is probably going to be it if Italy wins, but depends on what happens tomorrow, I guess. Gino going the opposite way, straight to Jack Cags. Batted ball luck is killing Venezuela in the 6th inning right now. Ezequiel Tovar has been super hot as of late. He's got to put something in the outfield here. You don't want to be counting down in the 7th, 8th, 9th inning. What if we have both semifinals 2-1 of the scores? After basically all of the quarterfinals were 8-6. Felt like. And Jack Cags is right under Tovar. So Venezuela basically hits it right to Jacob Marcy once and Jack Cags twice. Looks like some solid contact. Lorenzen allows some hard hits, gets some batted ball luck. I mean, he is pitching to contact at a pretty high level right now. Now, in the regular season, Michael Lorenzen going to be pitching to contact in Coors Field. You can, I mean, nobody's ever done that and had success, but right now it's working. In Miami, in Houston, it was working. Michael Lorenzen is just, he is not your typical starting pitcher, but he's gotten a little better as it's gone on, a little bit longer. I hate eating on stream. It's so weird to eat on stream. Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, and then Victor Montagliani, the CONCACAF president, both in box seats here. The Saratoga Water. It's funny that the CONCACAF president, right, who's supposed to be for the Americas, relating to North America, Central America, a little bit of South America. Really, not that's CONMEBOL, but you know what I mean. That they are, the CONCACAF president is Italian. That's pretty funny, isn't it? He's like, Venezuela is actually more in his wheelhouse. Not to say you can't do the job. Oh, hey, game day. How we doing? You might be busy tomorrow night. Hey, I'm sorry about that, man, but I will bring you a recap regardless and a pregame, so you get some good coverage of the game regardless of if you can watch it live or not. Love having you in here during this tournament, though. Appreciate you. Give me a pick to homer the rest of this game day. And I mean, this guy Luinder Avila, such an interesting pitcher. He might be my favorite reliever that I didn't know about that now I do after the WBC. Because I cannot tell you that I knew who Luinder Avila was. Italy coming out with a base hit to lead off in the sixth inning. Zach DeZenzo, who's in place of Dominic Canzone. A puzzling lineup choice ends up paying off with a base hit. Zach DeZenzo is pretty good too. I mean, he's a minor leaguer, but yeah, he was like a 12th round pick by the Astros, but he's 6'5", 220. He's huge. Went to Ohio State. And he's played in the MLB actually the last 2 years, so I take back what I said about being a minor leaguer. Huh? Who is this? Sorry about that. Jack Kaggs, the plate discipline for Jack Kaggs. I mean, I didn't watch. I'm not gonna sit here and say I watched tons of Kansas City Royals last year, but Jack Kaggs is making great swing decisions, as all of Italy is, all Team Italy is. It'll be interesting to see how some of these Team Italy guys do. Like Jacob Marcy, a strikeout guy. Um, um, Jack Kaggs, a strikeout guy. Even Dom Canzone, a guy who strikes out a decent amount. Interesting to see if these guys kind of picked up something from Vinny P, or Team Italy just has these guys seeing these pitchers really well, or I mean, maybe they can just carry this stuff into the regular season. And if that's the case, anybody who's eligible for Team Italy next time, probably going to go ahead and play for them. Oh boy. Fire drill. But you advance the runner. It's just as good as Jackson Churio's bunt. Zach DeZenzo's on second with one out, a base hit, and you can double your lead. Italy's scrapping for every run, optimizing for the ball club. Luinder Avila, some very interesting stuff. Ticks all the boxes that I kind of like in a reliever, other than maybe the insane velocity, because he is more of a mid-90s guy, but oh my gosh. Avila used 43% curves, 29% four seam, 24% sinker last year. So the curveball was actually his main pitch. And it looked pretty good. Basically uses that, curveball to both sides and then four seam to lefties and sinker to righties. With just a little bit of mixing it up between the two sides. All right, what do we think the final score of this game is going to be? It's a good time to ask, I figure. Is it going to stay 2-1? These final 3 innings? Is it going to move to 3-1? I mean, it could move to 3-1 here in a minute. Let's see who they're bringing in. Angel Zerpa is coming in. Another Kansas City Royal. There's so many Kansas City Royals between these teams. I guess, sorry, Milwaukee Brewers am I talking about. But he was a Kansas City, he was a Royal the last 5 years. Zerpa, an MLB veteran, 99th percentile ground ball rate. You know what he's looking to do right here. But again, you got Andrew Fisher in here, a minor leaguer who's making great swing decisions against an MLB level 96 mile an hour sinker. There he swings and misses at the slider. Now it's 1-2. Lefties hit just 220 against him last year, so they brought him in to face all the lefties. Oh, goodness. That one was way up and in. Nearly hits Fisher in the head, but he ducks for cover. Hits the deck. Middle. He gets the strikeout. Doesn't get. He has second percentile in getting whiffs in 2025. Angel Zerpa was. Really does not get the whiffs. But that time he did. These low arm angles have kind of taken over the MLB. He's got the 30-degree arm angle, Zerpa. At least last season. Consistently come down a couple degrees each year. Like 1 or 2 degrees each year. And now Dante Nori's up. So Andrew Fisher strikes out swinging, and Zerpa intentionally walks JJ DeRazio. Interesting. I guess you really want Zerpa facing the lefties. He's the anti-lefty device. This is some interesting chess from Venezuela. You've got the 2 outs, and then you get the ground ball, but it's in the perfect spot. It dribbles perfectly, and now the bases are loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th for Italy. Once again, bases loaded. Second time in the game they got the bases loaded. Can they get the traffic to its conclusion? A whole lot of traffic. Can they reach their destination? Completely no man's land. I mean, this batted ball luck for Italy is insane. Yeah, if you're Zerpa, you're like, wow. Okay, interesting stat right here about this game. Not a single pitcher has more than 2 swing and misses. This is an anti-whiff game. You got to throw a strike, especially after starting off 1-0 in that at bat. And then you throw another one right down the middle. You got to trust that you're going to get a ground ball. That's what this pitcher does. Angel Zerpa just knows he has to get the ground ball. And he knows that's the approach he has to go for. Antonacci, oh my goodness. Perfect pitch, outside corner, high and away. Antonacci takes it. Too close for comfort. Italy loads the bases. Venezuela prevents a single run from crossing the plate. It's still a 2-1 game. Going into the 7th inning. So at the end of 6 innings, it's 2-1 Italy. 5 hits to Venezuela's 4. 266 expected batting average to 254 for Venezuela. It's extremely close. Just like the U.S. and DR. I mean, it's a game of inches. Which I definitely overuse that saying, but I don't even care. All right, no more who's going to hit a homer. What relievers are going to come in and pitch well? That's the question. Oh boy. Okay, I'm just going to let everything digest for a minute. But, okay, who is coming in this game? That's the next thing we got to look at. What relievers are going to come in? Lorenzen's going to go out there for another inning, that's for sure. Try to get some more batted ball, like have another quick inning. I mean, in whichever team goes into the final, the U.S.'s biggest advantage in the final is going to be their bullpen. It's going to be completely fresh. And, I mean, does Edward Bizardo not come in this game? You definitely have to think. Edward Bizardo, elite MLB reliever, he's got to come in this situation, in this game, to make it to the final of the World Baseball Classic. Yeah, Lorenzen's going to go out and get batted ball luck as long as he can. Probably until he doesn't. I would have him doing the same thing. Lorenzen to Torres. Starts off with 2 balls, some junk. Hopefully, see, can I get some swing and miss? All right, no. Well, then let's pitch to contact. That's probably what he's thinking. That's my guess of what Lorenzen is thinking. Sweeper in the zone and then he does get a swing and miss. It's like, oh, let's pitch to contact. Oh, there, he did swing and miss. Torres, good swing decisions, though. That's the one thing that he's gotten really good at as a big leaguer. He was going to be this really good prospect in terms of the plate approach and stuff. It didn't necessarily start out that way. In New York, he was trying to hit homers a lot, it felt like. Striking out a lot. But now, he walks a lot. Full count. It's full counts and 1-1 counts tonight. And Torres leadoff walk. The Tyne runs on first base again for Venezuela. How's Italy going to put out the fire drill this time? Or will they? Is this the time that they won't? Something's going to catch fire for Venezuela. If things do catch fire for Venezuela, you could be allowing a big inning. If they start to get hits off of, the guy, like, you saw how quick they were to pull Aaron Nola when he ran into trouble. Will they do the same with Lorenzen? Who are they going to put in? Sam Aldeguerri? Dan Altavilla, Ron Marinaccio. Do they bring in Greg Weissert? It's been 2 days. They probably got to use their closer, Greg Weissert, in both of these next 2 games. Oh boy. Pickoff attempt. Lorenzen looks a lot more Italian. Ends up being a strike. Looks like a pretty considerable lead by Torres. I thought he was going to steal there, maybe. And Wilyer Abreu. If Abreu hits another bomb, another tie go-ahead bomb, he's going to have a statue built of him in Venezuela. Yeah, of course, they're going to replay it. This pitcher that's supposed to be really good in Japan, winning their equivalent of the Cy Young. The best Nippon pitcher around. And you crush Wilyer Abreu with the swing and miss when he is used to swinging his bat and seeing the ball fly in the big moments. At least in the last one. Backdoor slider. Just absolutely typical. He was saying something like, that's a good pitch, or I didn't get a good pitch to hit. Now, William Contreras just, barely swung the bat tonight. But now he gets a strike. And is looking like he's going to try to time up his swing on this at-bat. gets up and in. He's going to take every ball that comes to him. I know that sounds like an obvious idea, like revolutionary idea, take the balls, but Contreras was really not swinging. Now he's a little more willing to swing. And as soon as I say that, right, I jinx it. And something way up and out of the strike zone, he swings at it and fouls it off. I think Team Venezuela is now thinking of tying this game up and taking the lead with a swing. Because then Italy's got the pressure on them with 3 innings to go. Ooh, Torres or so Jimenez is pinch running. Andres Jimenez pinch ran for Gleyber Torres. And Contreras strikes out. Excellent changeup by Michael Lorenzen, executed down inside corner. That low inside corner changeup. And the Venezuelan fans know it. I mean, Lorenzen is definitely putting on a experienced pitching performance. I wouldn't say an elite pitching performance, but an experienced one. He knows what he's playing with right now is fire. The stakes in this game feel so high, too. Churio back up the middle, and that's a base hit. On 2 outs, Venezuela got the runner on third. And now the tying run, 90 feet away. This game is good. And now, are they going to take out? Yeah, they're going to take out Lorenzen because they're going to take out these guys at the first chance, or at the first sign of danger. Actually, no, they're just going to talk to him. Lorenzen's talking to him. He's like, I wonder what he's saying. But it seems like this Italian team is doing a great job of sharing data. It's probably their, if not their biggest strength, one of them. And it is Ronald Acuna up to bat. You've got the lineup flipped, with Churio hitting at the bottom. Ronald Acuna, with the weight of the nation on his back, 2 outs in the top of the 7th, a base hit would tie this game or even help him take the lead. And it's going to be, oh no, what a throw, but it's not in time. Safe, game tied. Venezuela gets their second run. They're jumping out the dugout. They're hyped up. Acuna said, come on, come on. I'm sure he feels like, don't play with me. Venezuela going absolutely crazy in the stands, all over Lone Depot Park in Miami. That country just took a big breath. Acuna says he says, I am getting a pitch to hit. I am getting a hit. And he hits it hard enough at the shortstop, Sam Antonacci, that Antonacci overthrows it a little bit. It's on the ground, rolling into Vinny Pasquantino, and Acuna flexes that speed. Even after multiple ACL injuries, the dude cannot be stopped. He is an all-time athletic talent. How much does the World Baseball Classic, or should it play into Hall of Fame consideration at the end of your career? That is a question I would like to ask as well. Because if Venezuela, let's say, were to do something crazy like win, that definitely, I mean, puts a couple guys pretty close, right? Acuna, Hasn't had a whole. I mean, he hasn't had full seasons in the majors, but he's had some MVP worthy seasons. Michael Garcia is not even that old either. He's really rounding into form as one of the best player, one of the better, if not best, third baseman in the MLB. And now Venezuela's got all the juice. Yeah, they want to get back. I mean, they want to get to that final so bad. Oh my goodness. Venezuela's going to lead the game. Venezuela's going to lead the game. Acuna is so hyped up, pounding his chest, sliding into third. Michael Garcia, incredibly hyped up. And Michael Lorenzen staying in there to face the top of this Venezuelan order. I mean, this is just where Venezuela, like, once they get guys on, right, and they get hot and they start to believe in themselves, the talent just shows up. Italy had them in their head about the talent for the first several innings of this game, but now late, Venezuela's really rounding into form. Everybody talking about the Dominican team before this tournament, throughout this tournament. Not enough people talking about this Venezuelan team. And they have a chance to be the finalists along with the USA. Honestly, if I'm the USA, I don't know who I want to face. If I'm really wanting the USA to win, it's like, which I am. I'm not sure. I think I'd rather face Italy with their, seeing how their pitching is depleted and stuff. And every single ball that is thrown to Luis Suarez, and it's now 3-0 with runners on first and third with 2 outs. Luis Suarez is screaming at the dugout. And Suarez is going to walk. Oh, come on. That was a ball. Honestly, though, the little box on the TV, they might just need to get rid of that because it's not always exact. It's definitely not what the umpire sees. At least have it like the corners are marked and then take away the edges a little bit. If you know what I mean. Oh my goodness. Javier Sanoja hyping up the crowd. Is Italy's WBC run? I mean, it is on its heels. Does it come to an end tonight? We'll see. Oh my goodness. And that's going to be more runs. Acuna trots home. Arise, hyped up. Venezuela is going crazy. The inning. This is Venezuela's inning. This inning is going to go down in Venezuela history. The entire stadium is going nuts. Luis Suarez. And look at all that dancing that Acuna is doing on the base paths. You gotta love it. They have a way of playing the game. Oh my goodness. And that's going to be it for Lorenzen. He did a good job. Maybe they left him in there a little too long. He told them, no, I have some stuff figured out. I can stay in here to face these guys. I'm the best chance we have. But you get that part of the Venezuelan lineup coming up. Would anybody else have been better? I mean, who does Italy bring in now? It's starting to look like just the depth, or I could say, I hate to say it, but maybe the lack of depth of their pitching is going to start to catch up to them. It's only 4-2. I mean, hey, Italy can, have Vinny Pasquantino walk, and then a couple hitters later, Jack Kaggs can hit a homer, and it'll be all tied up. They have Dom Canzone off the bench. They can pinch hit. Italy still has plenty of chance in this game. but Venezuela has now doubled their run total in this game. Venezuela is now up 4-2. Italy is how many outs away? Are it 6 or 9? Is it? Italy is 9. Okay, so they're going to have to face Italy for 3 more innings after this, but this inning isn't even done. I mean, there's runners on first and third still with 2 outs. Kyle Nicholas coming in. Has not been great in this tournament so far. But he has pitched in the MLB for the Pittsburgh Pirates the last 3 years. Now he's in the Reds organization. And he's got the fastball velo, 97.6, to face the heart of this Venezuelan order, Eugenio Suarez. If Gino hits a 3-run bomb right here, it would still be the second biggest 3-run bomb he's hit in the last 6 months. Oh my goodness. And okay, that will end the inning. He swings at the first pitch. But man, you see how much this means to Acuna. You see how cool this is for these guys. This tournament is pretty awesome. What is those red? What are those red Venezuelan jerseys? Are those like some sort of like, is that some baseball club, some team that they have in Venezuela? Like one of the big teams in Venezuela, most likely? Or is that what their uniforms look like in one of these last World Baseball Classics? I can't remember. Curious as to why they have all those Venezuelan fans have the red jerseys. It's cool. It's super cool. I mean, all their dancing and the all their different gear and flags. Obviously, the drums, which they do like this celebration every time they get a hit. But has Venezuela ever? Let's look at World Baseball Classic finals. Like, what are the like the historic World Baseball Classic finals? Let's see. So 2009, it was, Venezuela was third place in 2009. In 2006, no, they weren't even close, or they weren't. Was that the only time they made the top 4 is what I'm trying to figure out. Man, and I never made a score prediction for this game either. At this point, I'm going to say I've got this Italy on. I've got to show a little bit of faith. I feel like I'm not doing my and they've got Edward Bizzardo on now. Let's go, Edward Bizzardo. I am extremely happy to see him pitching in the bottom of the 7th inning, or in the 7th inning of a huge game to go to a championship with a 2-run lead for the second time in the past 6 months. And in such a huge spot. And I hope that this time it goes excellently for him. It would be tough to watch Edward Bizzardo get, have something happen against him in a 7th inning, in such a similar situation to the situation with the Mariners. Because, Edward Bizzardo is an excellent pitcher, excellent reliever. I do not disagree with Dan Wilson's decision to bring him in. You can go back on my channel and watch all the videos I have throughout the playoffs. I never blamed any of it on Edward Bizzardo. He made a good pitch. George Springer just put an even better swing on it. I don't think there's another pitch he should have thrown. He had the book on him. Does he use that same book on some of these righties? He throws a sweeper to start off to John Birdie. Does he use that down and in sinker on some of these righties? I like his up and in sinker. Maybe even better, though. He lets it come back to the middle of the plate after starting outside. Now it's 1-1. Bizzardo does the thing where he's like falling over and he has to catch himself. Oh, is that a hit for John Birdie? No. Venezuela is 8 outs away from the final. Bizzardo has such a great ground ball rate and strand rate as well. He's not somebody who gets hit hard very often. Quality of contact does take years to normalize. So when scouting pitchers seeing if they're good at that, it is something that you really got to know until you have years of data on them. And even then, you've got to know why it's happening or why it's not for that data to be very useful. Jacob Marcy versus Edward Bizzardo. This is a fascinating matchup. Two very underrated big leaguers. That's a strike. Okay. And Bizzardo starts him off 0-2. Two very good pitches. Very, very good pitches from Bizzardo. Bizzardo just has nasty pitches, so he has the ability to face these lefties too. He just has a ton of movement and all the velocity he needs. And it's awesome to see a Mariner get in this spot. It would only be more awesome to see Dominic Canzone come up against him. And he gets the strikeout right there. If he mows down the Italy lineup right here, does he come back out for the 8th inning? Is the question. Vinny P against Edward Bizzardo. This could be Vinny P's last at bat of the Classic. Perfect sweeper on the outside corner. Bizzardo is locating right now. Starts Vinny P off 0-1. Commands the strike zone. Oh no, and he gets Vinny P to pop out on the second pitch. Bizzardo really commanded that strike zone. That's the best pitched inning of this ball game, I have to say. Stop sleeping on Edward Bizzardo. Stop playing with Edward Bizzardo's name. That was by far the best pitched inning of this ball game. 8 pitches, mows them down, a strikeout, a pop out, and a ground out. None of them were remotely in trouble, or in a, none of them were in doubt at all. That right there, if you're a Mariners fan and you blame Edward Bizzardo for what happened in the playoffs because you think Dan Wilson didn't bring in his best guy to face the Blue Jays in the 7th inning of Game 7, that right there should make you feel differently. And if it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. Other than you should be confident in Edward Bizzardo moving forward. What is the score of this game going to be? Like I said, I got to go Italy 5-4 somehow. I think they're going to pull out the biggest upset or the biggest comeback, late comeback in WBC history in the 9th inning or something. Because Italy's magic, I don't know, maybe it's run out. And honestly, Venezuela, you look at the team from top to bottom, they have plenty of talent to face off of against the U.S. in a game in the final. If I'm the U.S., would I rather face Venezuela or Italy? That's the question. I have to say I'd rather face Italy again, first of all, because you get to get your redemption against Italy. Second of all, the pitching depth for Italy is getting annihilated. They have Sam Aldegheri just in case at this point, but to face them in the final. But Italy's pitching has not been... they've pitched so well this tournament. It's just that they've used a lot of their best guys today. They used their 2 best starters, arguably, in Michael Lorenzen and Aaron Nola. They'll have Joe LaSorsa either today or tomorrow if they need him. They'll have Greg Weissert. Matt Festa should be available. Everybody else pretty much. They've got a whole lot of guys. And maybe against the U.S., the best thing you can do is throw out guys that there's less data on, and that they are expecting less, or that they haven't pitched as much, stuff like that. And now, so Kyle Nicholas is in. He's getting some swing and miss on Ezekiel Tovar. Backdoor slider. Italy are really up against the ropes right now. But they're still in it. They're not out of it. It's just getting tough. Three and one the count now. And pops out. Tovar pops out. Andres Jimenez getting his first at bat in a couple games in this WBC. How many total does he have in this WBC, I wonder? He's got at least a couple. Oh my goodness. He had the swing on that one. Just might have been a little bit late. Such a game of inches. Francisco Cervelli, I am blown away by what he's done so far. I mean, if he can get Italy to the final. But that huge 3-run 7th inning for Venezuela, putting it in doubt. And you get the strikeout. Kyle Nicholas doing his job. He's got the big time velocity. He's also got a slider and a curve. 91 mile an hour slider and an 84 mile an hour curve. So he is a power pitcher. Every sense of the word. 87 on the curveball right there. Really pumping it up, trying to keep Italy in this thing. Just give them the 8th inning. Give them the 9th inning. They're 6 outs away from elimination. Gets William Abreu 0-2 quickly. Another pumped up curveball. Climbed down the ladder on that one. Where does he go here? Climb it. Go way inside slider. 3-pitch strikeout. Kyle Nicholas looked great there. It's another cool reliever from this game. We learned about Luinder Avila for the Royals. Young one. Kyle Nicholas, only 27 himself, so not necessarily, super young, but relievers are never usually that young because they usually get moved from being starters at some point. That's how relievers are made. At some level. Oh boy. Italy down to their final 6 outs of the WBC. What do they do? Fun fact, just learned this. There are more people born in Venezuela than in Italy in the Italian team's lineup tonight. There is not a single Italian hitter that was born in Italy in the lineup tonight. And their catcher was born in Venezuela. It's an interesting little fact. And now they're 5 outs away. And Machado comes in. He played a crucial role in shutting down Japan in the later innings of that game in high leverage. And now, similar situation. He gets a first pitch ground out. Jack Kaggs, is this his last at bat of the World Baseball Classic? Very good chance it is. And Machado locates on the inside corner to him. Jack Kaggs 0-2 right away. Venezuelan pitchers commanding the strike zone against Italy. They absolutely took this thing back over. They just worked themselves back into it. Andres Machado gets Jack Kaggs real quick. And 4 outs for Team Italy from elimination. Man, it's been a wild ride for Team Italy in this World Baseball Classic. Does it end in the semifinals? Andrew Fisher, at this point, any sign of life, whether it is a walk, a single, a hit by pitch, any sort of base runner for Team Italy. And you got to look back to that bases loaded situation in the 6th inning for Italy, where Venezuela didn't allow them to score a single run. And Machado just is commanding the strike zone like crazy. After Bizzardo's 8-pitch inning, Machado is now a pitch away from ending it with 8 pitches himself. And Eugenio Suarez enjoying himself, as he should. He is an emotional leader that can get teams very, very far. Gotta throw a ball. Can't swing at it if you're Fisher. These Venezuelans, you can see how much they care from the stands, the dugout, to the field. So do these Italians, but I don't know if I've seen a single Italian fan. And Italy is 3 outs away. Oh, and look at that, Jose Altuve. Man, Jose Altuve, you could see in his face that he wishes he was playing right now. He's happy for his team, but the fact that he couldn't play with the insurance issues, definitely tough for him. And Italy is now 3 outs away from their magical run at the World Baseball Classic being over. Italy had a 77% chance to win. I mean, they had around a 75% chance to win. They were dominating this game for most of it with just a 1-run lead until Venezuela. With 2 outs, too. Venezuela did it all with 2 outs. It was William Abreu strikes out swinging, William Contreras strikes out swinging, and then Jackson Chourio singles. No, then Gleyber Torres walks. Did Gleyber Torres walk? No, Gleyber Torres walked to start the inning. That leadoff walk by Gleyber Torres kicked off the whole thing. Then Jackson Chourio singling. Andres Jimenez is the pinch runner, by the way. Just, great managerial decision there. The pitchers Venezuela has brought in Bizarro and then Machado. And now, who is their closer? Who's coming in the ninth inning? Venezuelan pitching has been good, I have to say. I think the U.S. has their work cut out for them. Who is their closer? Is it Emmanuel de Jesus? Or is it Jose Budo? Because de Jesus is the lefty. Oh, no, it's Daniel Palencia. What am I talking about? My memory's so short. It's Daniel Palencia as their closer. Big league closer. Oh, my goodness. Venezuela gets one more opportunity to tack on to their 2-run lead. But you can feel the momentum right now. If Italy comes back in the ninth inning, that would be one of the biggest comebacks in World Baseball Classic history. Ron Marinaccio is in the game for Team Italy. Hasn't had the greatest tournament this far. I mean, Italy still has a chance, has a pretty decent chance at this. Baseball Savant does not think this game is anything close to over yet. But, I mean, he gets Contreras 0-2 pretty quickly. Knows this is some of the biggest baseball he's going to play for the rest of his career. And he strikes William Contreras out on 3 pitches. Man. It doesn't feel like it's time for it to be over. It couldn't last forever, though. Team Italy, the World Baseball Classic, their amazing, magical run. Maybe it's not over. Maybe Team Italy is going to come back in the ninth inning and shock all of us one more time. Chourio gets one more at-bat in this game. He gets 0-2 real quick. Ron Marinaccio is pitching like there's no tomorrow, as he should, because there is no tomorrow. I mean, also for his career, I haven't heard much about him recently. He did pitch for the Padres last year. He's been in the MLB. He'll be in the MLB again this year. Oh, he was nasty last year. He just didn't play that much. He only played in 7 games. He must have been injured. He hasn't had a bad year, though, in the MLB. And Chourio out. So Marinaccio having a very clean inning. This dude's still in the MLB. I don't know what I was talking about, thinking that his career's on the line or anything. Dude had a .84 ERA last year. And a .94 whip. He'll be one of Mason Miller's main sit-up men and partners in crime. San Diego has a pretty loaded bullpen, though. And Marinaccio, oh my goodness, is that... No, yeah. That is going to be straight to Dante Nori, pretty much. Acuna, though, it's scary when he swings the bat like that and watches it. So, Italy, 3 outs. And if they don't do it, Venezuela is going to the final of the World Baseball Classic. I know I keep saying it, but I'm not ready for this Italy run to be over. Let me just say a quick, let me just say, because Italy has resembled this channel's motto as well as any team possibly could have at this WBC. So let me give it to them one more time. Italy, in this 9th inning, with your backs up against the wall, you're still just 2 runs down with a trip to the World Baseball Classic final on the line. As long as you go 1-0 every pitch, stay stoic, and give all glory to God, you can't lose. 1-0 every pitch. Don't worry about anything but the next pitch. Just worry about the first pitch of this inning. First pitch of this inning for Team Italy. That's it. Don't worry about anything that you can't control either. Only control what you can control. You do not control the score right now. It is what it is. You can't go back in the past and change that. You do not control what Venezuela does and what Daniel Palencia does out here as he comes in to try to close this ball game out against you. You do not control what pitch he throws. You only control how you respond to it. Don't get emotional over the things you can't control. Hold your heads high right now. And lastly, this is about something bigger than baseball. This is about, the country of Italy has not had much to celebrate in sports for a while. Since 2006, obviously there's the Euro in 2020, 2021, that was supposed to be the 2020 Euro. Other than that, it has been absolutely bare bones for Italy in basically every sport. Give Italy something to celebrate. Hold your heads high. Act as Italians act. The Catenaccio. Bring the Catenaccio of the soccer team into the baseball right now, as you've done this whole tournament. The Catenaccio of baseball is coming right here. Forza Azzurri. Forza Azzurri. My Italian accent needs work. But this is about something bigger than just baseball, something about bigger than just this team. All glory to God. You can't lose. All right, 1-0. 1-0 this pitch. It's a tough pitch. Brian Rocchio getting in the game. 2 fastballs up and away, both right near 100 miles an hour, and he strikes at both of them. He swings at both of them. 0-2 quickly. Protect the plate. Keep this at bat going. Get the pitch count up on Palencia. Have a long inning. Good. He fouls it away. Same exact spot. He's just trying to work him further and further outside the strike zone, up and away. Don't let that happen. Brian Rocchio, you're getting a chance to represent your country at the World Baseball Classic. All right, 1-0 this pitch. 1-0 this pitch. Protect the plate again. Put it in play. And looks like, yep, Willie Abreu is going to catch it. All right. Next pitch. Is Dominic Canzone really not going to play in this game? Really not going to come in to pinch hit here? You're not going to, you're pinch hitting Brian Rocchio. He must be injured. There's no other explanation than Dominic Canzone must be injured. It's got to be the case, right? Dominic Canzone must be injured. Dante Nori swings the slider in the dirt for the first strike. All right. Whatever. No Dom Canzone. 0-1 the count. Try to protect a little too much. You got to expand the strike zone. Reel it back in. If you hit a bomb right here, then you just need one more bomb, and then it's tied. And then Venezuela has to stop all of this stuff, stop being so happy, right? From Italy's perspective, I mean, you just got to get a little bit of momentum back here. All right, 0-2. Protect. Way to protect. Way to protect. Now you get a ball on the 0-2. Now it's 1-2. 1-0. Okay, 1-0 this next pitch. You know what you're seeing. Take all that data. You just go 1-0 this next pitch. Yeah, Palencia is formidable. And he blows 99 past you, up and out of the strike zone. Palencia is just getting these guys to expand their strike zone too much. He is nasty. He is nasty. Team Italy down to their final out. Sam Antonacci, Italy's last hope. And he almost pokes it the opposite way there. That would have given some life to Team Italy. I mean, if Italy gets a base runner, the life that they're going to have is insane. If Italy just gets a base runner, they'll have insane life. And there's a ball. And Dominic Canzone is in the on-deck circle. He is in the on-deck circle. Antonacci, get on base. Give Dom Canzone a chance to swing and tie it up. Way to call time. Excellent call time by Antonacci. You've got to ruin some of this momentum that's going on. Your back's up against the wall. You've got to try something. Way to call time. Way to make this your at-bat, Antonacci. This is your at-bat, not Palencia's. It's an even count. You do not have to protect too much. You do not have to protect too much. And he throws a ball in the dirt, way in the dirt. Didn't even reach the dirt before it goes in the grass. And now you're ahead in the count all of a sudden. All of a sudden, you're ahead in the count. Yeah, this is your... Yeah, you step in when you're ready, Antonacci. That's how you do this under pressure. I want to know this pitch. And it's outside, and you don't have to protect too much. This is a great professional at-bat from Sam Antonacci. Great professional at-bat from Sam Antonacci. He is battling. He's on the 3-1 count. You probably want to take all the way. It's middle. I get it. Try to see, try to time it out. Doesn't matter if it's a swing and miss. None of that matters. And now it's a full count. You just got to get on base here. Full count. And that's it. Palencia does it. Strikes out Antonacci. Dominic Canzone ends in the on-deck circle. But Team Italia, their magical run at the World Baseball Classic is over. Venezuela is in the championship game, the final of the World Baseball Classic, for the first time. Congratulations to Venezuela. They absolutely deserve it. Man, Italy, what an amazing run. If there was only one managerial decision that I was not a fan of. It was not having Dominic Canzone in this lineup, not getting him into this game earlier. And look at them hugging it out. Victor Martinez and Omar Lopez. Victor Martinez and Francisco Cervelli hugging it out. Omar Lopez with the glasses in Venezuela. And then Miguel Cabrera. It means a lot to Venezuela. They deserve it. Italy was just shocking the world, even by being in this spot. And they were close. They were close. They had their chances. Vinny P is a little bit stunned. This Team Italy really ended up meaning a lot to these guys. Team Italy really means something now in baseball. And that's the crazy part. Team Italy really means something in baseball now. In the WBC, next time you go up against Team Italy, you're not going to shrug them off as a second-rate team. Venezuela is clearly a first-rate team. So, Acuna getting interviewed. I mean, and this stadium was really hardcore Dominican today. Or Dominican. Excuse me, Venezuelan, obviously, but sheesh. I'm still stunned. Definitely was very proud that my Italian heritage was doing it. Now, I mean, you got Venezuela facing the USA in the final. That is going to be a matchup. An absolute dynamite matchup. Who are the starting pitchers for Venezuela? I mean, is it Eduardo Rodriguez? Is that who they're going to put out there? Suarez just pitched. Venezuela, USA. Final of the World Baseball Classic. If we get a Jonathan Diaz appearance tomorrow, that would be very interesting and a roundabout way for the Mariners contingent of this channel. Italy's run is over. Italy's magic run is over. But Venezuela's lives on. Venezuela's never made the final, and man, they've had some talented teams. They've walked in here with the most talented team before, when they had Miguel Cabrera and Felix Hernandez, Salvador Perez in his prime. Who is pitching the final? That is honestly a question that I have. Just who is pitching the final? Who is pitching for USA in final? Nolan McLean. Nolan McLean is set to do it. That is an interesting choice, especially considering what happened against Italy. But, I mean, I'm a big Nolan McLean believer. I do think people who don't know baseball yet don't know how good he is and was last year. But people who do know how good he was last year, I think they're maybe just a little too high on him compared to where I am. I'm a little low on him compared to like fantasy baseball rankings and what most people see him as. Who's pitching for Venezuela in the final? Who in the world is pitching for Venezuela in the final? I mean, we won't know. They had to exhaust their options to get there. There's no, I mean, Ranger Suarez would be on really short rest. Saturday or Friday to Saturday to Tuesday. Saturday night to Tuesday night. He'll have less than 3 full days of rest. Now, considering like the pitch counts and stuff, I forget how many pitches he went. It wasn't that many though, right? Or other than that, like you're throwing out Eduardo Rodriguez. It's probably going to be Nolan McLean and Eduardo Rodriguez in the final. And let's see. Yeah, I think you could go ahead and say it's probably going to be Nolan McLean versus Eduardo Rodriguez in the final of the World Baseball Classic starting. That's a pretty crazy matchup. Like, it's not the ones that you would think of. So, yeah, Suarez got roughed up through 51 pitches 2 days ago. Italy's magical run is over. Venezuela comes back. They have the big inning they need. They shut Italy down when they had the bases loaded in the 6th inning. And now Michael Garcia is sitting down with these dudes at Fox Sports 1. Wow. Venezuela's really good. They deserve it. But Italy, they embodied this channel's motto of want to know every pitch, stay stoic, all glory to God. They did those things at such a high level. You can't be mad that, they didn't make it all the way. Mamma mia, absolutely, Alvaro. Got some info. Oh yeah, sucks that Italy lost. Yeah, exactly. Donovan. Oh yeah, Brendan Donovan doing a public signing April 1st. Cool. Yeah, Mamma mia. Tell me right now, if you, down below, if Eduardo Rodriguez and Nolan McLean are starting the final tomorrow, what is your score prediction for the final? Let me know in the chat right now. I'm going to say, I mean, these semifinals were not as high scoring. 4-2, 2-1. Try to split the difference between that and the semifinals. Say like 6-4. Let's go 6-4 USA in the final. Who's gonna homer in the final? Let's say if we had to pick one player to homer on each team. 5-1 USA. Love that game day. I mean, if you can hold this Venezuelan lineup to 1 run, I mean, you just did it with the DR. Judge 2-run homer. I like that. If you can hold this Venezuelan lineup to 1 run, Nolan, what is here? Let's go try to game plan this from a pitching perspective. And here, honestly, I can probably do. I know I can do this. Yeah, I can give you guys like we can go game plan this. I can put this on the screen so you guys can look at this with me. All right, so Yeah, here's what we'll do. We'll open this in another window, and then I'm going to screen. This is a fun little exercise we're going to do. Michael Garcia just talking about how awesome this is for them. They deserve it. All right, so we're going to screen capture. All right, you guys should be able to see this with me. USA pitching plan versus Venezuela. We're going to go ahead and look at what do we think the USA should do for a pitching plan versus Venezuela. Drop a subscribe. We're trying to get 300 by the end of this WBC. It's going to be a photo finish. Unless y'all go ahead and click that button tonight and get me over the line. Get us over the line. Because it's not just me. It's all of us. I'm going to make this a little smaller just so that we can... I'll make myself a little... There. So, here's the USA pitchers that are available. Now, as for who is going to pitch tomorrow, so we can cross out who's not available. So, I gotta do all this stuff. I'm going to put an N next to the guys who have already pitched, like who can't pitch in this game, so who can't pitch in this game? Obviously, Skeens and Skubal. Skubal's off the roster. Anyway. And then Logan Webb, I don't think is available because he pitched on what? Friday? Yeah, so no Logan Webb. That would be like 4 days rest. So we're going to go ahead and assume that they're not available, which means when you got 16 total pitchers, you got 14 guys available tomorrow if you're the USA. Definitely clutch to have the extra day of rest, considering the bullpen guys. And I think that is the difference in this game tomorrow. For Venezuela, the difference in the game would be the energy and all the passion and stuff and how much this means and just all that type of stuff. For the U.S., it would be and here, I'm going to get back to the chat so I can see what you guys are saying. Gino Solo, I like that too. And so U.S. pitching plan versus Venezuela. Anybody else who's a no? I mean, no, you're going to use anybody else you want. So, starting. First inning is Nolan McLean. Let's say, what are you hoping for from Nolan McLean? Maybe get through the order. If he gets through the order one time, that's great. That's all that you could ask for. So, let's say you get 3 innings out of him. 2 to 3 innings. Let's say that would be ideal. Now, if you run into a fire early, we'll just put him. We'll put him like a 1. It's your first guy that's coming out to pitch. Your second guy that's coming out to pitch. It's gonna be. Who's your second guy coming out to pitch? I mean, you got your lefties, right? You got like your Spires and your Boyds and even your Clevengers, even like a Tim Hill, who I don't think has pitched in this tournament so far. You got your righty guys, righty facing guys, you know, which is like Whitlock is one of your main guys, Jax is one of your main guys, Holmes is one of your main guys, Miller is the closer. So we'll say I'm gonna put the C for closer next to Miller, right? This guy's last. So McLean's starting out and Miller is last. He's got the first inning, he's got the ninth inning. In fact, we can put CL 9. He's the ninth. First inning, I mean, you could plan out, let's just say that things go completely awry. Hope maybe you can skip some guys if things don't go awry. But let's say you got Nolan McLean in the first inning, you got Mason Miller in the ninth inning to close it out. Let's say that you got I mean, do you go to like a Jeff Hoffman early? You get Clay Holmes has looked pretty good in this tournament. Maybe you go to him. We got to give second inning to somebody, right? Now you're Mark DeRosa. You got to give second inning to somebody. Okay, let's run into the lefty train. Let's go like Matthew Boyd, probably second, because they're gonna game the lineup for the righty and McLean. You go Matthew Boyd to get the. If you have suggestions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. Chat, tell me who are we putting out third? If we're going Nolan McLean first, then we switch him up to a lefty after they put their right lineup out for a righty with McLean and Boyd. Who are we going to? And I'll give you guys a choice, so you don't have to pick by yourself. You can kind of choose. Would we rather give the third inning to? Would we rather give the third inning to we want to give it to a righty at this point? Brad Keller or Clay Holmes? Give me Brad Keller or Clay Holmes in the chat. Brad Keller or Clay Holmes for the third inning. Just assuming that we have to give one of them the ball. Things are just going awry. You're trying to get back into this game. You know you've got the hitters to do it. You know, you go one of these 6'5" righties, one of these power righties. Clay Holmes not as much power. Brad Keller not like a super crazy power guy either. But which one do you go? I'm gonna go ahead and say Clay Holmes. It's more like early, mid, late. Than it is like specific innings, I guess. You really think about it. But then let's say we're going like setup guys, right? Who are we going to have set up? Mason Miller. Let's say we're, in a tight game. We need to trust our setup guy. Who are we going to? Jeff Hoffman? He did in the playoffs pretty well. I think Griffin Jax might be the dude. Let's say Jeff Hoffman or Tyler Rogers. You could go Bednar. You could go Jax. I think the top two options are probably, or Whitlock. Shoot. Whitlock, Jax, Bednar. Whitlock, Jax, Bednar. Which one do we take out of that mix first? Because whichever one we're taking out of that mix, we'll put him out there in like the 7th inning or something. Let's say we're going to go 7th inning Whitlock. And so we'll get the boy Griffin Jax out there. In the 6th. Then we can get the boy we'll put Whitlock out there late. Do you trust the same guys that you trusted against the DR though? Like the same exact guys, or do you mix it up because of you just put it on tape? Maybe for that reason, I'm going to switch these. My first instinct might have been right. I don't know. Obviously, it depends on who's coming up in the order and who you think is a better option, better matchup. I've got Bednar as the 8th too. Is Bednar for sure the guy, or do you go Bednar in the 6th, Whitlock in the 8th, Jackson the 7th? Maybe you go Jax as the setup, Whitlock late. And some of these guys will end up being depth. If you're out here watching this, I know you want to subscribe to this channel. If you like stuff like this, this is what we do. We get way too into these specific things like this. If you want to zoom in on baseball, drop a subscribe. 5th inning, you could have like mid, right? Spire. We need some lefties in there to break up the monotony of the righties. Then, let's say, I don't know about Hoffman. I just don't know. I don't know about Vest or Tim Hill. Yeah, I want like the sidearm approach, even though you put it on tape against the DR. I want Tyler Rogers out there. So here's the pitching plan. Kind of just getting a guy in there for each inning, and then you've got other guys in there as depth. So we'll go ahead and put a Nolan McLean is confirmed to be starting the game for the USA tomorrow. This is a whole lot of pressure to put on a guy who, I mean, has not pitched a whole lot in the MLB. And I really like Nolan McLean, but I think he just has not played that much MLB baseball. He's like late depth, or you could mix it up and use him mid, like mid late. Like early piggyback. That's what I'm going to call Matthew Boyd. Early piggyback. Just going to get on there and piggyback early. Been streaming for over 3 hours now. It's probably one of the longer ones we've ever done on this channel. Early piggyback. Let's say we're going to say that he's the opener. We're going to say that he's not the full-on starter, just the opener. Boyd is an early piggyback. Holmes is going to be our kind of bridge guy. And then you might want to bring in, honestly, a lefty after that. So maybe instead of, like, maybe you go Clevenger, and then you take this midsection, give it to Tyler Rogers. You have Spire to be your matchup contract killer, which I gave him that nickname on this channel, by the way. Interviewed him about it too. You can see there's a YouTube short where I asked him about it at FanFest. Matchup. Any left on left matchup, you can go to him. Which I know you tried it against Italy, and I think that's when Pasquantino hit a bomb off of him. So let's say you don't like that. You need to save one of your save a different lefty as the matchup killer. maybe you want to go, because I don't want to be too biased towards the Mariners just because it's a Mariners channel. Maybe you go mid-4th there. Matchup. Like any left on left. You give to Clevenger. Kind of like how that's turning out. And then add depth mid to late there. Depth mid to late for Tim Hill. Depth, this will be Brad Keller mid to late, because you got the guys early. And that's everybody. That's your pitching plan for Team USA tomorrow. Start out with Nolan McLean, see how far he can get. He's the opener in the first inning. Hopefully they prepare for him. Hopefully that's who they do all the scouting reports on. You move on, Matthew Boyd, early piggyback, try to flip the lineup, and if they put like some lefties in the lineup, hoping they get a shot at McLean in the second inning, or the first time through the order, like late first time through the order. You hit him with Matthew Boyd. Venezuela doesn't have that many matchups, to be honest. I mean, Wilyer Abreu, right? This is like an anti-Wilyer Abreu device, right? Anti-William Contreras and Jackson Churio device, either there, or even Tim Hill. I mean, because you're not scouting him quite as hard. Maybe you are, probably anyway. The anti-Eugenio Suarez device, you could probably use who you need to use, whoever. Who is the anti-Acuna device? Who is the anti-Acuna device in this whole setup? Probably going to go with, I mean, yeah, you want a lefty, right? I would say this is probably your anti-Acuna device. Either Gabe Spire or like Matthew Boyd. Or Clevenger, maybe. But like you've got to have an anti-Acuna device. You've got to have, like, when the lineup is flipping over and you've got Contreras and then Churio and then Acuna, you need something that's going to counteract that. And that's either, in my opinion, Spire or Boyd, depending on, like, if it's early, Boyd. If it's middle, Spire. And if it's later on, you're going Clevenger. Yeah, I think that's about right. Oh, man. It would really suck to have, I mean, to be, whoever gives up a homer or gives up any big hits or anything like that in this game would suck. But for it to be Spire, that would ultra suck. Oh, man. All right. I have streamed this game for 3 hours and 9 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and log off. Here is your game plan for tomorrow. I'm going to go back over this tomorrow morning as we're getting ready for the WBC final. I can't believe it's already here. Drop a sub. We're trying to let's get to 300 subs before we go live tomorrow. I know we can do it. I have enjoyed being part of this Team Italy run with you guys, watching Team Italy, the World Baseball Classic. It's been a magical run. And they embody this channel's values of want to know every pitch, stay stoic, and all glory to God. And as long as they did that, they can't lose. Baseball in Italy is forever changed because of it. I will see you all tomorrow for the final. Get some sleep.